Science and mathematics. The Egyptians made many great discoveries in science, mathematics, and technology. Later, civilizations built on these discoveries. The Egyptian calendar. Like most early peoples, prehistoric Egyptians probably measured time by the cycles of the moon. The result would have been a lunar or moon-based year of about 354 days. Over the years, the seasons would run ahead of such a calendar, since the seasons follow a solar or sun-based year of 365.2422 days. The ancient Egyptians wanted to keep the calendar linked to the seasons to help farmers plan when to plant and harvest crops. The ancient Egyptians noticed that each year a bright star called Sirius first appeared above the horizon before sunrise about the same time of year as the Nile floods. Mindful of this, they watched carefully for the appearance of Sirius. Sometimes the first appearance of Sirius came too close to the end of the lunar year. So the Egyptians added an extra month to that year so that the year could catch up to the seasons. However, this meant that each year had a different number of days. That made record keeping and planning difficult. So the ancient Egyptians developed a solar calendar with exactly 365 days. They used this calendar for official record keeping. The seasons still slowly shifted through this solar calendar too. So the ancient Greeks added leap years when they ruled Egypt in the 200s BC. Our modern calendar was modeled after this solar calendar. Take a look at our first graphic up here, the Egyptian calendar. The Egyptians developed two different calendars. A solar calendar with 12 months and 365 days was a model for our modern calendar. An older lunar calendar was based on observation of the sky. So each figure around the edge of this solar calendar represents 1 month. Then down here, ancient Egyptians used a tool called a meerkat to observe stars and other objects in the sky. The line and weight allowed them to measure angles. So here's a picture of it, and here's a picture of somebody using it. Mathematics. The ancient Egyptians developed a solid understanding of mathematics. Their ability to construct the Great Pyramids proves their command of arithmetic, or addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It also shows their skill in geometry, or the measurement of dimensions. Science, technology, and medicine. Ancient Egyptians also made advances in science, technology, and medicine. As you have learned, the Egyptians knew that the star Sirius first appeared in the early morning sky at the same time of year as the Nile flood. This was part of their advanced knowledge of astronomy, the study of the stars and other objects in the sky. The construction of the Great Pyramid shows the ancient Egyptians' mastery of engineering. No other civilization had been able to plan and build structures so large or so perfectly shaped. The ancient Egyptians also made many of the earliest discoveries in chemistry. These discoveries led to many new inventions. These included the earliest forms of glass, mortar for setting stones and bricks, and many kinds of cosmetics. The Great Pyramids were not the only example of Egyptian engineering. To bring the water of the Nile River to their fields, the ancient Egyptians developed complex systems of irrigation, or ways of watering land. The Egyptians had the most advanced medical knowledge of their time. From their work with mummies, for example, they learned much about human anatomy. Anatomy is the study of the structure of the body and its organs. The ancient Egyptians were skilled surgeons. Egyptian doctors also studied diseases and developed effective medicines to treat or cure them. So construct, which was in our reading here, means to build or put together. And these are some examples of tools used by Egyptian surgeons.